Here we are very early in the lacrosse season. If you want to find out just how good you are, this is the way to do it. We've got two teams who met in the state championship game last year, currently ranked 1 and 2. These are the powerhouse programs in Colorado lacrosse. Jim Soren's Regis squad, so deep they can go 16, 17 guys without any let up in talent and skill level. One of their studs is Anders Eriksson, coming off of a state championship in the sport of hockey. Lefty guy, quarterbacks the offense, and so skilled down there in the offensive zone. And then Charlie Malley is a talented long stick defenseman. He plays the game the way coaches like to teach it. Well, Matt Bachlet has his Cherry Creek Bruins trying to defend a state championship. And again, of course, they are stacked with really good players, including Jimmy Erickson. You just see him 2-2, big athlete. He'll take up a lot of space in the midfield. And then Henry Savage, who is all set up to play at the next level, as well as so many players. You'll keep an eye on the lefty finisher, smart, crafty kid, and certainly one of these talented guys that we're going to witness out on the field. So here we are at Stutler Bowl in Greenwood Village. It's 1 versus 2 for your XFINITY Sports Report game of the week. The Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Cherry Creek Bruins. Bruins are fired up as we get to the game, and what a show this would be. Early on, it's Regis with the jump, and look at the passing here as Anders Eriksson finds Nick Ringhofer on the doorstep for the first goal of the game. Bruins would counter a few minutes later, showing off nifty passing of their own. Gabe Minicini to Henry Savage to Cooper Wisniewski, cutting down the slot. The long stick gets the goal, all tied up at 1 each. But those would be the only 2 goals of the first period, as each goaltender would come up with big stops. Watch as Matt McCarthy stones Aiden Burke right in front of the crease. And on the other end, knocks Dent standing tall in the Bruins net. The shot by Regis goes high, but right to Jake Taylor, and Dent gets back into good position to make the save. To the start of the second period we go. Creek would suffer a tough break. There's Jimmy Erickson. We highlighted him a moment ago. 2-2 on the attack here, but goes down holding the left hamstring. He would not return to the game. A huge loss for the Bruins. Later, tied up at 2 apiece, and this is just pure speed from Patrick Rowe. Takes a run on the far side, will not be denied. He beats Dent, and the Raiders have the lead back up 3-2. Fast forward late stages of the first half. Raiders have their advantage up to 2 goals, but Creek would find the back of the net here. That is Gabe Minicini doing work on the side of the cage, whips the shot home for the goal. Bruins would trail by 1 after the first half as Coach Matt Bachlet takes his crew into the locker room at Stutler Bowl. Third quarter now, Regis would continue to apply pressure, doing it with defense here. Jake Taylor forces the turnover. Anders Eriksson picks it up, sends it right back to Taylor. Count that, and the Raiders lead 8-6. Creek with answers, though. Back to a 1-goal game here. Then Colin Green unloads from up top. He beats McCarthy in net for the tally. It's all squared up again at 8 each. And that is how the game flowed through the entire second half. Regis would look like they were in control, but the Bruins would always battle back. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter here. Lead back to Regis, and the Raiders would add another. Midi Joe Castle sending it to Jake Taylor at home. From there, the senior attacks and cashes in on a tough angle. Regis takes a 10-8 lead into the fourth quarter. But back comes Creek again, and they go to Henry Savage. The senior shows great patience, absorbing checks, looking for an opening. He finds one. 23 gets the goal, and the Bruins have tied it up again at 10 apiece. 8 minutes left in the game. The storyline remains the same. Raiders have taken control of the game once again. This is Max Smith moving in, shoots and scores. RJ pushing the lead back up to 3, and this one's starting to look like it could be over, or nah. Not so fast, say the Bruins. Under 2 minutes to go. Creek desperately needs a goal, and they go to their leading scorer. That is Henry Savage. He works his way in front and fires the rocket. Creek still alive. It's 13-12. Now, under 20 seconds to go. Regis with possession, but the huge mistake here. Raiders turn it over in their own end. Bruins will get the ball back with seconds ticking away. Nick Edwards moving in, but he is denied. Max Smith coming up with the great defensive play on the stick check, and Regis Jesuit holds off Cherry Creek in the final seconds for the thrilling 13-12 victory. Let's talk to Chuck Molly, the long stick midi, who was a big part of what an intense game. You never trailed in this game, always had the lead, but then they were always in this. What was the challenge against a great squad like that?
I think it was our first time playing against a really solid opponent. It was fun playing against them. I think our D had great communication. Our team this year, it's really a big family, and I think that's what really stuck us in. They scored, we scored right back, kept that lead the entire game. It was just such a fun game, such a good family. Love playing against these guys. Have a big rivalry, but we're all friends with them off the field, and it's a fun game to play in.
What'd you guys find out about yourselves beating a team like that?
I mean, it really feels good considering they beat us in state last year. So we found that we are able to compete this year with even the other best teams in the state.
Okay, let's talk to the head coach, Jim Soren. That victory, how are you able to get it against a team like that?
Well, we just kept on working on it. You have to grind it out. I mean, it's, every possession you got to make something happen good. They're an excellent team, and they gave us a great challenge. We knew they would.
Two powerhouse programs. Of course, you met last year in the championship game. In what ways was this championship caliber to Colorado lacrosse?
Well, Regis and Cherry Creek always have a big rivalry. It's always going to be a tight game no matter what. Records are out the window when we play. It's just so much fun to play in. It's an unbelievable feeling.
You cannot get any better than that if you like your lacrosse entertainment. I mean, you talk about the stats here on the way the game evolved. In the game summary, we had 5 ties. Creek never was able to lead in this game, but they got to within 1 goal 12 different times. Regis, though, eventually holds it off. Boy, they made that nice stand after taking the 13-12 lead in the final 90 seconds, making stops, playing great defense, getting the victory. Offensively, Jake Taylor, how about that? Hurt his rib, 5 goals after the injury. Reed Babcock with 2 goals. Patrick Rowe also had 2 goals, and the Regis Raiders stay undefeated. They will remain number 1 in Colorado lacrosse. Final score, 13-12. Raiders with the W. For the XFINITY Sports Report, Marty Cesario.